Good morning, high school softball fans. My name is Jim Leisure, and I'm joined by Jeff Wright, and this is the Saturday morning, and I got to be careful there, Jeff, to say morning because we normally do afternoon games. 9-Star TV, 9-Star Films, high school softball game of the week. Jeff, welcome to the booth.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate that. You could not find a more beautiful day here in the middle of May to get outside and do anything, and watching a softball game between two really good softball programs should be a fun one today.
There you go. And for you folks at home who may or may not know, Jeff is the assistant athletic director here at New Palestine High School. How much fun has it been, Jeff, rescheduling all these baseball, softball, track events with this horrible spring we've had?
Well, I'll tell you what, we've stared at that radar. Mr. Cooper and I have stared at that radar more than anything else this spring, and you just got to make a decision. All right, let's find a new date to play, and for the most part, 99% of the games we've been able to get rescheduled, and we're very thankful for this great week of weather we've had this week.
All right. Well, today with the New Palestine Dragons take on the Munster Mustangs. And for those of you, again, Central Indiana fans, say Munster, where in the world is that? It is in the region, up about 30 miles south of Chicago, and Munster comes into the ball game with a record of 12-4, 8-1 in their conference. They do play in the Northwest Crossroads Conference. We are going to get you the starters as we go. The leadoff hitter for Munster, number 17, the center fielder, Paige Vukovic. I already screwed it up. First hitter.
That's a tough one to start with.
Yeah. Well, I'm 0 for 1, so let's, again, we can only get better, right? Paige is bat .360 on the season and is, as you can see, a left-handed hitter. And back in the box. Looks like she's up here to swing the bat. Sometimes you'll have leadoff hitters that do the little slap hit. Well, there she goes. So she moves forward to try to slap hit and takes a ball low.
1-1 to her, and two programs that don't see each other much, so they're kind of filling each other out. They will the first few innings here.
As Paige fouls one off to the screen, runs the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Talk a little bit, Jeff, about why would a team like Munster get on the bus on a beautiful Saturday morning and drive all the way to Central Indiana to play a couple of ball games?
This was something we started back in 2018. There's a lot of great softball up in Northwest Indiana, so we decided to contact a few teams. We started with home games with Crown Point and Carmel, who's just from Central Indiana. And then the next year, we made a return trip to northwestern Indiana, went to Kankakee Valley, got a win there, went to Crown Point, lost a close one there. COVID hit, ended up not playing last year, but got it restarted this year. So welcoming Munster, and then later today, the Dragons will take on Crown Point.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. As Vukovic drives it into center field for a base hit, so the Munster Mustangs off to a good start. On the mound for the Dragons is Alexa Holman, and Holman is a senior, 9-0 record, 2.33 ERA. She has struck out 33 and walked 14. Coach Jill Perez goes to a handful of signals there for Vukovic at first base. We'll see if something's on.
Just a solid line drive up the middle to start off.
First pitch up in the zone, but fouled straight back. 0-1.
Guessing that leadoff hitter in first has some speed. See if she gets to use it.
Yeah, they don't steal a lot. 29 stolen bases on the season for the Mustangs, although Vukovic does have 6 of them, which ties her for the team lead. Little short pop fly to the shortstop. Nice job by the shortstop there, Allie Blum. Nice drop step, goes back and get it. That pitch, it looked to me, Jeff, had some movement on it. It appeared as if it was going to be over the plate and then kind of ended up off the hands.
Alexa throws the ball hard. When she can get movement along with that speed, that's a tough one to hit. Got contact on it, but popped it straight up to Allie Blum.
Yeah, and Allie, again, just did a nice job, just drop step, almost like an outfielder would. Got back to the spot where the ball was going to come down, and really just an easy catch.
They're coming up swinging. I like that aggressiveness.
Yeah, this is Char Lorenz. Char is committed to Louisville. She's a junior. Bats .536, 15 RBIs, and 5 home runs. The previous hitter was Kylie Madura, by the way. She's a young lady who flew out to the shortstop.
.536, my goodness.
Yeah,
and
insane.
they play in the conference they're in, and the games they play up in Northwest Indiana, that's saying something.
Yeah, that's really just obscene, frankly. Nice pitch again. Already, Holman has shown a little bit of movement on her ball. It's going to be difficult to barrel something up if the ball moves like that.
Up and out of play.
So Lorenz battles up there, down 0-2. The rest of the hitters for Munster, the 4-hole is Emily Liza, the 5-hole Cara Vitale. Batting 6 is Emily Surek, 7th Brooke Vivian, 8th is Evie Allerding, and the 9-hole is Cece Mason. Pitches up, just I think a nice 0-2 pitch. You're just going to miss the zone a little bit and see if you can get the hitter to get themselves out.
Yeah, no harm with that. Put one up in the zone. Maybe she'll chase it. She laid off of it, which good hitters will do.
Yeah, you would think a young lady who's committed to Louisville at that division probably knows a little bit about hitting.
Yeah, she'll get to be teammates with Sambu next year from New Palestine.
Yeah. Coach Jill Perez down the third base line, and Coach Perez has already had to move several times. Girls are giving a little bit of a workout.
Pretty early for that, but
I learned years ago, get out of the way. You see some of those tough guy coaches and gals who will try to corral those foul balls. Double play ball, opportunity out at second, and no throw to first. So again, another fine play by Allie Blum, flips it over to Elena Miller, and the leadoff hitter, Paige Vukadinovich, is out 6-4.
Yeah, not going to turn double play with Lorenz having some speed there. Somebody else maybe would have been able to turn two, fielded it cleanly.
Yeah, I think, and again, unfortunately for Blum, she was just too far away from second base. Really, I mean, you can turn them in softball, but you've got to be perfect. And then again, like you said, the runner can't be particularly fast. The best way is the shortstop takes that herself, steps on the bag, fires to first.
Right.
Emily Liza evens the count 1-1, fouls it straight back to the screen. And yet to see any movement. Again, Munster does not run a lot. They've played 16 games. They've got 29 stolen bases, so basically a bag and a half a game. As she was running on the pitch, this one's popped up to right field. Oh, almost a nice play by the right fielder, Grace Paquette. She did a nice job of sliding in there and just unfortunately couldn't come up with the grab. You actually coach that with your outfielders. You do a little sliding drill where they come in and try to slide like they're sliding into second base while at the same time making the play. We're going to see the replay.
Great effort by Grace. Also Elena running out there just in a spot neither one with their speed could get to it. Great hustle.
So here's the 1-2 from Holman. Little soft liner to second base, and that ends the inning for the New Palestine Dragons, who will be coming to bat. So we're going to go L4 there. So it looks like one hit, one left on base, no runs, no errors, and the Dragons will come to bat. For the New Palestine Dragons, their hitting lineup will be this way. The first hitter, Elena Miller, followed by Allie Blum, Aglaya Rudd, and Paige Ernstis in the 4-hole. Batting fifth is the designated player Katie Hershey, the big freshman, and 6th Grace Paquette, 7th Maddie Engel, and 8th Delaney Barton, followed by Sydney Oliver. For the Mustangs, in their defensively, in left field, Addie Evilsizer. In center field, Paige Vukadinovich. They got all the tough names in the outfield. Right field, Emily Liza. Third base is Charlotte Lorenz. We saw her bat. Shortstop, Cece Mason. Second baseman, Kylie Madura. First baseman, Brooke Vivian. And the catcher is sophomore Cara Vitale. And on the mound, another sophomore, Emily Surek. Emily comes into the ball game with a 2.67 ERA, 4-2 record, 37 strikeouts to go with 16 walks.
Brand new place for Munster to play. Obviously not played here before, so playing on the turf. Not sure how many games they've played on the turf this season. I'm sure maybe a few up there in northwestern part of the state, but getting used to it here in the pregame, but not a lot of time.
Yeah, I think more and more schools, if you can, and I understand money's money, but turf makes so much sense financially for lots of reasons, and I know it's a huge price tag that a lot of school boards wrestle with at first, to kind of have to choke down that multi-$100,000 deal. But again, if you do it right, maybe do your football field while you're doing the softball diamond. Sometimes you get a little bit of a break that way. But again, you get hours and hours and hours of use.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the initial cost, but then the year-to-year cost is very, very minimal.
Absolutely.
Very, very little maintenance on the field. And it's a beautiful field.
Yeah, years ago, I was doing some research, and I mean 20 years ago, and it appeared as if average maintenance on a football field is about $50,000 a year, and I can't imagine it's more than about $5,000 if you have turf. First pitch from Surek is up, ball 1 to Elena Miller.
University of Illinois commit. Having a nice senior season, Elena is. 373 average.
Left-handed hitter again, looking like she's up there to drive the ball. Ball was low and outside, ball 2. 2-0 is a good count to hit.
Flag's blowing a little bit out there in center field.
And it's blowing her way if it goes. Really good patience there at the plate by Miller. That ball was up and in. Didn't miss by much, but I do think it was a ball.
Yeah, just a little high and inside. 3-0 count. Pretty good chance she's taking here.
A good spot there by Surek. She finds the inside corner right at the knees. Yeah, I've always said 2-0 is the count that you really just want to unload on. You're looking for a ball in a certain area. If you get it, you explode. If you don't, you take it. Even if it's a strike. If you don't like the pitch, don't swing at it. Fouls one down the right field line. Run the count full, 3-2.
Turned on that one with a quick bat.
Yeah, 2-strike hitting's now a little different. You got to kind of concede, I guess is a better word, a little bit here. You may want to choke up. You'll see a lot of girls go to the split grip for a little better bat control. And, of course, you got to protect that plate. You don't want to get called out on a borderline pitch that you disagree with. Ground ball to first. Easy play for Vivian. She steps on the bag, and there's one out.
Nice job by the pitcher coming back there from the 3-0 count. Got that strike on the inside corner. Got a lane to foul one off, then got a harmless ground ball to first.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Jeff, the battle within the game. I mean, yes, this is a team sport, but it's also very much an individual sport as the pitcher and hitter kind of go at it. And, again, hats off to Surek. She ended up winning that one. First pitch off speed and just hung there like a big old matzo ball, and just unfortunately, Allie Blum could not pull the trigger for strike 1.
Yeah, I don't think she was expecting that. That ball took a while to get here. Great pitch by Surek.
So she's worked both corners of the plate there. She went outside corner with the first pitch, inside corner with the second, both of them called strikes. So Allie Blum in a little bit of a hole. Let's see whether she can battle back and work a decent at-bat to this. Popped it up, and it's going to be an easy play in center field for Vukadinovich, who corrals it for the second out.
2 up, 2 down. I'm sure Coach Perez is happy to see that with the hot bats we have at the top of the order to get first 2 out before you get Rudd coming up, and you want to face Rudd when there's no one on base.
Absolutely. Now, both these teams hit the ball well as a team. New Palestine bats 363 as a team. Munster bats 339. First pitch is fouled up and out. So Aglaya Rudd batting .507, 34 RBIs on the year, and 5 big flies.
Amazing year she's had from behind the plate. Also a very good defensive catcher for the Dragons.
Again, tried the off-speed pitch, but the release point was not there, so the ball bounces in across the plate. 1-1 the count, 2 outs, no score. Drives the ball into right center field. That ball does get down. It gets all the way to the wall. She's on her way to second. I thought she had ideas, Jeff, but she said, you know what, I'll just take the double. Coach Ed Markham's like, hey, we got a runner in scoring position. Let's don't make the third out at third base.
Exactly. Great contact by Aglaya to drive one into right center there and made a nice turn. Yeah, she thought about it initially, but knew better, and now she'll have someone to come in to run for her.
That is number 52, and that is Grace Smith. Grace comes into courtesy run, and, of course, courtesy runners are available for pitchers and catchers. It's kind of a speed-up thing and hopefully improves the quality of the game, the argument being that if a player does not have to run the bases, then they can go get ready to pitch, go get ready to catch, get her gear on, speed it up that way.
Right.
But, sometimes, too, though, and I've seen coaches even do it at the college level, where your best athlete is your pitcher or your best athlete, and you want that person on the base paths. So Coach Markham decides to go with Grace Smith. First pitch to Ernstis, and Ernstis is in there for a strike.
Nice start by Surik here. Get the quick strike in the outside corner.
Getting back to Rudd, one of the things I liked about that swing was just she didn't try to do too much with the pitch. It was the outside corner pitch. She just drove it the other way. That pitch in the left-handed batter's box, but again was one of those kind of chase pitches by Surik. Trying to get Ernstis to swing at a bad pitch. Again, I've always said most hitters will get themselves out if you let them. Stay, don't give them anything in the middle of the plate. Stay on those corners, stay at the top of the zone, bottom of the zone. That ball's popped up in the left center. There's nobody there. That ball may drop, and it does. A run will score. So, again, not sure why Munster was playing the left fielder way over, almost on the line, and at the same time the center fielder did not shift over. Left a huge gap there. That ball wasn't hit particularly hard, but it was effective.
Well, Page has power, so they were playing deep on that, and they didn't get a great jump on the ball. I'm not sure if they lost it in the the blue sky, which is possible, but the high sunlight today. But Dragons will take it. Bloop single with an RBI.
Well, they are playing deep. You look at the left fielder out there, and Evil Sizer, who's literally got her heels on the warning track. And I don't mind the depth. To me, it was the where they're lined up. There's still a huge hole.
Yeah, she's way over. Center. Hugging the left field line there and playing deep, so there's a lot of green out there.
Ball gets away, runner will advance. Vitale did a nice job of blocking it as best she could, but unfortunately the ball did get away. Now again, you coach these kids on the base paths, they're going to take a little auxiliary lead there, and then basically if they see the ball, low trajectory might get loose. If it does, don't hesitate, just go.
That's the key there. She didn't hesitate, took off right away.
Little ground ball to third, and she's going to fire across and off the bag. So an E5 there. That was Char Lorenz, and again, probably, I don't know how many errors Char has on the season, but I bet it's not many. Brings up a first and third situation for the Dragons.
Had to go far to her left in front of the shortstop to get that, and she couldn't wait on the shortstop. Shortstop would not have got there in time, so she had to charge it, which made it a little tough throw come across her body like that. Drew the first baseman off the bag. Runners on the corners.
Well, we'll see if Coach Markham decides to put anybody in motion. First and third situations, always a lot of fun. Foul ball straight back to the screen. This is Grace Paquette. Grace is batting .304, 12 RBIs, another RBI opportunity here with 2 home runs.
A couple of home runs for Grace. Before she had her first, she hit one off the wall, mere inches from going over, and I talked to her after the game. She said, man, I was that close to getting my first. Since then, she's had 2.
Second pitch in there just on the outside corner, off speed for strike 2, so now she's in a little bit of a hole. By the way, that was the third error on Char Lorenz, third baseman for Munster. Here's the pitch, and it's a little dribbler. But okay, well, it had some spin on it. I thought maybe it might stay fair. It does not.
Probably looked like one of your 9-irons, didn't it? Come down on the green, spinning back like that?
You know what? I'm just so bad at golf. And it's odd because I play once every 2 or 3 years. You think I would get better.
Can't believe you're not a par golfer.
Yeah, when you play that often, and you would think you'd see some improvement, but no. So the 0-2 pitch. Ball is up and out of the zone. Good spot.
It was a great pitch, just off. Boy, props to Grace for taking that pitch just off the plate with the 0-2 count like that.
Yeah, you can see from the replay there, that ball was about shoulder high, which normal conventional wisdom, it's kind of armpits down. That ball's driven to the shortstop. It does bounce. She fires across and throws it away. Here comes another runner racing for the plate, and that will plate 2 runs. Another unfortunate error by the Munster Mustangs. C.C. Mason kind of let that one go, and she had a shot at her.
Yeah, C.C. wasn't sure. That ball just short hopped right in front of her. I think she was a little unsure whether she could catch that in the air or not. Ended up trapping it and then had to rush a throw to first and threw it a little high and towards the home plate side. And with Grace's speed, she made it a close play and was able to beat it out as the ball got by and 2 runners scored.
Yeah, Katie Hershey was moving on the pitch, and, when the ball, like you said, was kind of just in front of C.C. Mason, I thought she had time, Jeff, to set her feet and make a play, but She rushed it, and the Dragons are the beneficiary.
Yep, and she had to rush it because Grace was getting down the line fast.
First pitch, a little excuse me swing to the first baseman, who picks it up, flips it to the second baseman covering. That's Kylie Madura. So score that 1-4. Maddie Engel is, 3-4 is for the third out. So the Dragons 3 runs on 2 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left on base. So at the end of 1, it's New Palestine 3, Munster 0.
We are really heavily involved in the community, so there are multiple different volunteer opportunities that we can go and do.
Volunteer time to share their time and talents with organizations that need not only monetary assistance, but just people's time to help those organizations grow and thrive.
9-Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
9-Star is very focused on customer and member care, focused on making sure that however we communicate with the member and customer is how they want to communicate.
You know, sometimes we're the one person that they speak to in a day, and you want that conversation to be happy and pleasant.
As a nonprofit co-op, we're focused on providing the best service we can for our members.
9-Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
The catcher, number 15, Kara.
Well, welcome back to New Palestine High School. I'm Jim Leisure along with Jeff Wright as New Palestine is taking on Munster here in this, I don't know what you call it. It's not a cross-state rivalry. Just
kind of a new tradition,
I guess. Yeah, new tradition. I like that.
Let's go with
That's
that.
Good.
The new tradition classic.
Yeah. Kara Vitale, the batter from Munster. She bats .357 on the season. Pitches in there, and it is fouled off. Runs the count to 0-2.
Quick start by Alexa. Get 2 quick strikes on the 5th place hitter.
Yeah, you know, pitchers at every level and every game, you hear them talk about how important it is to get that first strike, but obviously much more important as well to get the second one. Here's a pitch from Holman. She kind of wastes it up and out.
Yeah, good waste pitch there. Brought some speed on that one.
So the Dragons get 3 runs in the first inning at the benefit of 2 Munster errors, somewhat uncharacteristic for Munster. They only have 18 errors on the season. Pitch is hit to the shortstop. Blum fires across to Barton in time, 6-3.
Just a textbook play there by Allie. Got a nice jump on it. Set her feet. Beautiful throw. Easy play at first.
So 1 out. Brings up Emily Surek, the pitcher. Emily bats .293. First pitch is popped up, and it is out of play.
Got a nice crowd out on the center field berm out there.
Yeah,
great place to watch a game.
Do those guys pay?
They better have paid. I'm sure they did.
I hope they did. Cheapskates, good God.
Or they jumped the fence, one or the other.
We're trying to pay the umpires here.
That's right.
Pitch is up. Evens the count at 1-1. Holman set to deliver the pitch. Again, that fastball with a little tailing movement to inside to the right-hand hitter, fouled away, 1-2.
She's fouled 2 of them off in the same spot over near our bullpen area.
Yeah, you know, every now and then you see that where a pitcher comes with basically the same pitch and they foul it in the same spot, same exact result. So the 1-2. Ball hit to center field and should be easy for Oliver, and it is. A lot of good communication there as you saw the left fielder, Maddie Engel, coming over. She's thinking she may have a play. The center fielder, Sydney Oliver, though, has to communicate, and then once they figure that out, and the fly ball priority does, center field overrules both right and left.
Sydney, you're right. Sydney, very dependable outfielder, played right field as a freshman, now moved to center. Yeah, just took care of that ball early, called it early, made a nice running catch. Just covers a lot of ground out there anyway.
Yeah, you know, the old saying in baseball and softball is always be strong up the middle, and that means, you know, the catchers, shortstop, second base, and center field. You want to be good athletes there. Second pitch comes in 0-2. Brooke Vivian, the hitter for Munster. She's batting .231. Brooke is the first baseman.
Once again, an 0-2 count from Alexa.
Great spot.
Yep.
Just missed.
Correct call.
Yeah, I think
No,
so.
some people didn't agree. It was
Yeah.
absolutely the correct call. And Glagerud tried to frame it, but it was offside.
I think that ball got more of
Sure.
the left-handed batter's box
Yeah.
than it did the corner of the plate. This ball's popped up to the shortstop in a pretty quick 1-2-3 inning for Holman. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. So the Dragons come to bat again, leading 3-0. A little replay there, I think, and yep, just a little can of corn there.
Yeah, I'm sure that ball's spinning, but Allie grabs it with two hands as your coach to do, and nice quick inning for Alexa Holman. She'll head back to the dugout, get a breather.
Yeah. Now, Alexa's a young lady, I think, had an injury earlier in the year. Is she coming back off some time off?
Yeah, she had a great start to the year, had a minor injury, just enough to keep her out of the lineup, and, early in the season's not as important as it's going to be in late May, so coaching staff, trainers made the right call, keep her on the bench for a little bit, let her get stronger, and she came back this week and has pitched well so far. We expect that to continue as we finish up the regular season next week and then head to Franklin Central for sectional.
It looks like a new pitcher for the Dragons. Number 22 is Delaney Barton, who was playing first base. Looks like she's going to take over on the mound. So a little bit of a surprise here. So early. I'm not surprised that they're working different pitchers in, but I figured Holman might throw two or three.
Sorry.
Well, it's been pointed out to me again that I played football without a helmet way too long. This is Munster. But you know what? They're red and white. They're just like New Palestine's.
Yes, they are. And you had half of it right, because who's batting?
Well, I mean, if
Delaney
you look out
Barton.
there, New Palestine's got white jersey, black pants, red
Yeah.
socks. Munster has white jersey, black pants, red socks. I was not the valedictorian, Jeff. In fact, I didn't.
Shocker of the day,
Yeah,
Jim.
I did not sit next to the guy who sat next to the guy who was the valedictorian.
That's all right. You graduated. You got to turn the tassel. That's all that
I
counts.
was asked to leave. It was kind of a. They said, "Look, you've been here 5 years. You got 9 credits. Go ahead and go." There's a drive to left field. It's hit deep, and it gets over the head of the left fielder. That's going to be 2. So Delaney Barton leads off for the Dragons with a double. And again, we talked earlier about how Addie Evilsizer in left field was playing so deep. Well, for some reason, she decided to play in on that particular pitch.
Yeah, probably didn't make the best decision there. And thinking lower in the order, she'll move up a little bit in left field. And Delaney made solid contact with the barrel of the bat and lined one hopper to the fence. Easy stand-up double for her as we head to Sydney Oliver.
First pitch is up for a ball. And, again now, well, here she comes. Evilsizer in left field's kind of creeped in. Well, now she backs up again. Left-handed hitter, 9 spot. You figure she's probably not going to drive the ball over
Right.
the head. A lot of times left fielders will literally play almost behind the shortstop. Pitch is bunted, and it's going to roll foul. She was bunting for a hit there. I mean, that was not a sacrifice attempt.
No, and she was about a foot off from having an outstanding bunt for a base hit there, hit near the line, and then just curled foul. Excellent try by Sydney. See if we can get runners at first and third there with the top of the order coming up.
Yeah, great idea, and the execution wasn't bad. It just didn't roll her way. There's a pitch in the zone called strike.
Excellent pitch by Sirik.
Sydney Oliver batting .326, 12 RBIs, 2 home runs on the season.
It's pretty good when you're 9th hitter.
Yeah, no
hitting
doubt.
over 300.
No doubt about it. Not your typical 9 spot. Pitch is up and then drops right into the zone. Off-speed pitch. First strikeout of the game for Sirik. And that one is the looking variety.
Yeah, just a great pitch there. Off speed. Drops in, not what Sydney was expecting. I don't think anybody in the stadium was expecting that, but great pitch to get the first out.
Location and execution, she did both. Came with the same pitch,
Yeah.
left that one up. Now Lena Miller bats for the second time through, and she grounded out to the first baseman first time up.
See the second baseman playing way over towards first base side.
So Surik has found a pitch that she likes, and the Dragon hitters are just going to have to adjust because it looks like she's not only capable of dropping it in for a strike, but same pitch, and she pops it up into short left. The shortstop goes back to get it, and that is C.C. Mason.
Got to lane off balance a little bit there. Was able to get the bat on it, but just harmless fly ball. Thought the left fielder was going to charge in, but the shortstop took care of that one.
Well, that's what they say. Hitting is all timing, and pitching is disrupting that timing. So Dragons had a leadoff double by Delaney Barton, have not been able to advance her ball in the dirt. Nice job by Vitale stopping it before a runner could advance. And by the way, Jeff, God bless you, you know, when I was messing that whole thing up, you were kind enough to mute the microphone. You didn't want to look, man, just rip it. Just tell me, hey, you know, you don't got to be that nice.
I'm trying to be nice, trying to act nice anyway. Fake it if I have
I was
to,
going to
right?
say, well, then maybe you're just not very good at it. I don't know. But go ahead and just go, hey, dummy.
Trying to take care of our senior citizens around here, Jim.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, I'll take that 10% discount. You ain't offending me, man. Allie Blum, the hitter, 2-0 count. Good pitch to here. Here it is. Fastball up in the zone, and it is ball 3.
Second on the team in RBI, so she's got one out there at second base, and Delaney Barton trying to bring her in. See if we can increase that Dragon lead to 4-0 after putting a 3 spot on the board in the first inning.
Coach Markham with the, I think, universal sign for take. The
Yeah.
turn around and, walk away from the hitter.
Yeah, it's not a surprise.
Yeah, it's like, look, if you swing, I will come to your house and beat you.
Probably won't take her out of the second spot in the lineup, though.
No. 3-1 exactly to me, like 2-0. You're looking for a pitch to drive. If you don't get it, don't swing. She drives one into left field. That will play to run. This one goes all the way to the fence, and she is in with a stand-up double. So we talked about her RBIs, Jeff. She made you look like a prophet there.
That's Allie Blum doing Allie Blum things. Waited on a pitch she liked, drove it hard to the left center field gap. One hop hits the bottom of the fence. Again, stand-up double for her as Delaney Barton crosses the home plate.
So exactly the same situation for Aglaya Rudd here. Pitches up out of the zone.
Go from our second on team in RBIs to our RBI leader here with 34.
Yeah, you saw Allie Blum there take a really big secondary lead, almost daring the catcher Vitale to throw the ball down, and if she had, she'd have just went to third. That pitch is in there for a strike. We saw that in the Pendleton game and it may have been Blum, where she took a huge lead off secondary lead, and then they threw the ball to second. She just went to third. It's like,
It's not that far away, is it?
Something about throwing behind runners. That one's going to be a foul ball down the left field line.
Yeah, Rudd turned on that one. Couldn't quite straighten it out over near the Dragons bullpen. Strike 2, what it goes down in the scorebook.
Now the on-deck hitter is Paige Ernstis, and Jeff Paige is actually doing something I don't ever really see an on-deck hitter do, and that is actually stand in the on-deck circle.
She has both feet inside that circle, yeah.
Pitch is a little off-speed pitch, hit to the third baseman. Lorenz fires across in time, and that will end the inning for the Dragons. So the Dragons get 1 run on 2 hits, 1 left on base, and no errors. So the score at the end of 2, New Palestine 4, Munster 0.
When moving into a new home, we ask ourselves questions like, who is the best internet provider in town? Well, have you considered locally owned 9-Star Connect? We've become the fastest, most reliable, and dedicated fiber-to-the-home internet company in central Indiana. Our internet packages have been modified, and we are changing speeds at a more competitive price. So give us a look. Visit us at 9starconnect.com. 9-Star is a different kind of company. And the difference is you.
Who knew that 9-Star Connect, a local smart utility, has the fastest internet in Indiana? 9-Star offers speeds up to 2 gig. That's upload and download speeds. Try getting that from any other provider. No data limits or caps on speed. The speed you pay for is the speed you get. 9-Star has state-of-the-art fiber optics with a dedicated line to each house. 9-Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. Who knew?
We are back on 9-Star Films and 9-Star TV for the high school softball game of the week. A little matinee started at 11 o'clock. New Palestine leads Munster 4-0. This is top of the third here, and looks like New Palestine's going to make a few changes defensively. We'll try to get those to you as we can, as they're brought to us.
Yeah, looks like we have a new catcher in the game for the Dragons, and Reese Rosenbaum.
All right, that's one, and then we'll kind of look around the diamond and see if we spot any others. Coach Ed Markham was talking to the umpire for quite a while. Of course, he might have been just trying to spell Rosenbaum.
Probably so. So lucky number 13 behind the plate for the Dragons.
First pitch is hit just over the third baseman, Paige Ernst's head for a base hit. So that is the first base hit. That's Evie Allerding.
She got just enough of that one to hit it over Paige's head down the left field line. Leadoff single. See if Munster Mustangs can get something going here.
Well, again, you know, it would surprise me with the 9-hitter here. You may want to, of course, you're not really playing for one run down 4-0, but they are going to bunt it. It's a nice one. Holman picks it up, makes the tough throw, and it's dropped at first base. Runner second tries to. All right. All the way back to first. All right, they're going to call interference on the runner. We're going to see the replay here. Nice bunt. Now, Holman picks it up, and she's unfortunately in line with the runner, and so she tries to, and you can see the umpire with the delayed dead ball. Okay, so he's saying delayed dead ball right there. I thought she interfered with the throw coming across. But, yeah, so the runner has to go back.
Allerding ran all the way to third, has to make the jog across the middle of the mound. No mound, the middle of the circle to get back to first. Yeah. So one out with the interference.
Yeah, the way you want to coach that is as far as Holman, is if you can get an angle on that throw to first, try not to throw over the runner. And, again, I thought on the replay there that there was interference on the runner on that throw.
Yeah, it looked like the runner was not between the two white lines that she's supposed to be, was in the field of play, which brought on the interference call.
Well, again, the umpire immediately threw the arm straight out, which is the delayed dead ball call, and then basically you let the play run out. Had New Palestine been able to pick that ball up, throw it across the diamond, and get the girl at third, there had been 2 outs. But then again, once the ball's dead, then you call the interference.
Correct.
And everybody goes back.
So 1 out, 1 on as we go to top of the order.
Paige Vukovic, young lady going to Georgia Tech.
Team with 2 nicknames.
Yeah.
Yellow Jackets and the Ramblin' Wreck.
The Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech, you're right. Vukovic drops it into left field, or I'm sorry, drives it into left field, and unfortunately for the Dragons, Maddie Engel, the left fielder, got all tied up. So that will drop for a double. We'll have to look on the replay here, Jeff. I don't know if Engel just got tied up or.
I think it confused her a little bit as she started back up and then maybe started to turn one way before she realized that it was coming back toward the foul line. And then couldn't quite reach out and get her glove on it, so ball got behind her.
Difficult play. The ball's
got the
cue ball spin on it, so second and third for Munster. The first real, honestly, scoring opportunity they've had. They had a runner on base earlier. Ball popped up, and it is out of play.
We've seen a number of those, Jim, come right over here to our right side, just out of play, just over the net.
Yep. Luckily for me, I have people on my right and left who I'm sure, much like a Secret Service agent protecting the president, would throw themselves in front of me.
I will be ducking under this table.
Great. Just like Reagan.
You're
just
on
like
your own.
To Reagan.
Oh.
Ball's popped up into left field, and it is caught by Ernstis, who wisely throws the ball to third. You weren't going to get the runner at the plate.
Sacrifice fly for Madura. Bring in the first Mustang run of the day.
So that runs the score to 4-1 New Palestine, and a nice job again, but really by everybody. Nice sacrifice fly and RBI for Madura, and nice job of Engel realizing she had no play at the plate, so let's keep the runner off third.
Yeah, she covered a lot of ground to get to the left center there, and took the catch and fired it back in as quick as she could to third. Keep the runner at second.
So Char Lorenz they'll step into the box there. She fouls the first one off. Really kind of speaking of protecting yourself, that ball had such massive movement late that she had committed to swing, and at the last minute just kind of had to protect basically her chin from getting hit.
Great pitch by Holman, catches the outside corner.
You know, you see it so many times, Jeff, where a pitcher gives up a run and, with different things, maybe she didn't feel like she should have, and they just tend to bear down and bring just a couple more MPHs behind the ball. It's almost like they're throwing angry. Ball hit to the shortstop. One hop, big hop. Fires across the diamond. They're saying safe. They're saying she beat it out. So, honestly, just an infield base hit for Char Lorenz. Advances the runner to third. I mean, that's not an error necessarily. I mean, she fielded the ball cleanly and just fired across. What that is more than anything else is just 60-foot base pass.
Absolutely. It was a play I'm not sure Ali Blum could have played any different.
No.
And had to plan, and she fired right away.
Yeah.
But just getting down the line quickly, just beat it out. First base coach called it. More importantly, the base umpire called her safe. So now you've got runners at first and third with 2 outs, and Mustangs are hoping for more than 1 run now.
Yeah, you always try to get those crooked numbers if you're a coach, and runner goes, and that ball actually hits the bottom of the bat.
It's like she tried to pull it back, didn't she? But it still caught.
I think it actually got
the knob.
The handle, the knob, yeah.
Holman will take it for a strike.
Pulls it back, and just right between her
right
hands.
Down there on the handle.
Yep. Pitch is in there. It's a ground ball to the shortstop, who, luckily for Ali Blum, who's kind of had her foot on the bag as she fielded it, so that's an easy one. For the third out, I show 1 run, 3 hits, a sacrifice fly, and an RBI. And 1 left on base for Munster.
Top of the third for Munster. They scored 1 run on 3 hits.
4-1, so Munster's happy to get on the board. Dragons are happy to get out of it, only giving up 1. Nice play by Blum to end the inning. Had to reach out for the ball and bring her foot back to the second base bag to get the easy out, force out at second.
Yeah, and you could see almost her thought process there as she kind of was trying to keep that 1 foot on the bag and reach out and get that ground ball. She may have come off the bag just a little bit, but had plenty of time to get back.
A lot of it is just thinking ahead of the pitch. All right, if it comes to my left, my right, what am I going to do? Am I planning, to have a shot at second, go to first? And it worked out well for Allie and the Dragons.
That is so important, Jeff, and a great point. Baseball and softball are games that you have to be thinking, because every pitch is different. What am I going to do if it's hit to me on the ground? What am I going to do if it's hit to me in the air? What am I going to do if it's hit to my right, my left? We look into the crowd here. Nice crowd here in New Palestine. Beautiful sunny day.
You see the flag is pretty much still now. Whatever breeze we did have is almost non-existent.
Well, I know that they're calling, of course. It's this spring. They're calling for some rain maybe around 3 o'clock. So that second game when New Palestine takes on Crown Point may be delayed. Now, of course, with the turf, it can rain, and it can rain quite a bit, and it drains really well. So you can play.
As long as we don't have the sleet we had earlier in the year, that did put a damper on things, and then that ended up ending the game. It came down hard for 15, 20 minutes, and the field was just very slick at that point. But I don't think we're going to see that today.
No, not with the 80-degree temperatures. But, again, I have stood in a third base coaching box and gone through all 4 seasons in just 7 innings. Reaches out there, a little off-speed pitch, and rolls it foul to run the count 0-2.
Page in a quick hole here, 0-2, got a bat on it. Just, again, timing is off. Just was able to slap it into foul territory over by Coach Markham.
Yeah, again, it's been a minute since I've coached this game, but anytime 0-2, I always like to see a kid kind of choke up, move in as she has, toes on the white line, and just try to protect the plate and slap something into play.
Another good waste pitch there by Surik. We've seen both pitchers do that. Run the count to 1-2.
So the 1-2 pitch. Line down the left field line for a base hit. So Paige Ernst starts the Dragons off in a good way.
That's just like you talked about, Jim. Just choke up a little bit. Just get the bat on the ball. Easy line drive into left field for a single.
Yeah, and again, she didn't have the most Ruthian of swings there. It was just a matter of trying to make contact and
put on the bat on the ball to get on base to bring up the freshman.
And this is the aforementioned freshman, Katie Hershey. Katie batting .407. She drives one down the left field line and foul. Katie's got 20 RBIs on the season, 4 home runs. And I was told that, earlier in the year, maybe she wasn't getting a ton of playing time. Coach Markham was just working her into the lineup. And, honestly, a good program, you're going to let your upperclassmen have the first opportunity, and then if they show that they can't hit or whatever, you start making some changes. And there's a drive way back. Somebody wake up the band. Home run, Katie Hershey, her 5th on the year.
Team comes out to greet her. She lined that one just to the right of the scoreboard. I thought she might put a dent in the scoreboard. I think she's done that once before this season. So freshman, again, as you said, having a great season as she was eased into the lineup, and she shows why she's playing just about every day now.
Well, she just got the pitch she was looking for, and that ball was just absolutely crushed. I really thought it was going to get over the fence by more than – I'm like you. I thought it was going to hit the scoreboard, as you see on the replay. Just barely got over, but it don't got to get over by much. It's just got to get over, and it did.
It cleared it, give the Dragons a 5-run cushion out at 6-1. So Ernst gets on with the single, and then Hershey brings her around. Bring up Grace Paquette.
Grace gets fooled on the change up there, change of pace, swings and misses. This is the second time through the order for the Dragon hitters, so you hear about that all the time. And really, the third time through is a big deal, but the second time can be good too for teams as they've seen what Surik has to offer. That ball's popped up on the infield. Taken, I started to say somewhat easily, but then it looked like that ball kind of snow-coated out by C.C. Mason.
Yeah, she luckily for her, she wrapped it up with both hands. It must have been spinning pretty hard. And, watching the outfielders, obviously they've been playing deep, and they're going to stay deep after seeing what Hershey did. So center fielder was her heels once again were on the warning track there.
And the infielders got to know that. They got to know where those people are positioned and know, listen, I ain't going to get no help, right? I got to go back and get it. First pitch in there, again, a little off-speed pitch, drops in for a strike.
Yeah, here's the other freshman that, again, Ed has eased into the lineup, let her get her footing on the varsity level, and now she's playing well. 267 average, but she's been a much better hitter than that lately, and with 3 home runs to boot.
Engel pops it up and out of play. Drops in the count to 0-2. Talk a little bit, Jeff, about just the importance of a program where you're constantly feeding young kids into the bottom and still have good kids at the top and coming along kids in the middle. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, every year we graduate seniors and we're like, man, that's a huge senior class we're losing, and it is. And you're like, how will we replace them? Well, with this program, they don't rebuild, they reload.
Yep.
And every year you got freshmen or sophomores coming up that are they're game ready to play at the varsity level. And Ed does a nice job of easing them in, as you talked about. And so here we are mid-May, and now they're major players in a lineup and in the field for the Dragons. And that's just been a consistency of New Palestine softball for this is Ed's 19th year. So
19th year with
going
Ed.
on 2 decades.
Yeah, and Ed was an assistant for the coach that won the first state championship.
Correct.
Pete.
Yep.
And that ball's popped up, and there's a chance down the line, but it looks like it's going to drop for a foul ball as the 2 players kind of collide. Hats off to the first baseman, Brooke Vivian, for hustling over there and honestly kind of getting in the way here. We're going to get a better angle of it here. That's the second baseman's ball, really, or nobody's ball. And Vivian and Kylie Madura kind of run into each other.
Yeah, Both of them tripped out there. Hope they're both okay. Take a little time as we make sure everybody's up and moving okay over there. We can't quite see with the first base dugout on the way, but looks like they're all walking back in good shape.
Madura's got that kind of walk like she's like, why were you even over there? That's my ball or nobody's ball. Get out of the way. But you can't. I mean, again, Brooke Vivian's got to go get everything she can.
Mm-hmm.
And but again, that angle, honestly, Vivian had no shot. That was probably Madura's ball or nobody's ball.
Similar to the play Grace Paquette tried to make the sliding catch on earlier.
Absolutely.
Just a ball that was hit just and nobody could get to it.
Yeah. So the pitch, and it's fouled off the catcher's mask and straight back, so dead ball. Maddie Engel trying to make this an at-bat here, down 0-2.
Little teamwork going on here between home plate umpire and the catcher, taking care of each other as they should, as we often see in softball and baseball.
Yep, umpire will go out and dust off the plate whether it needs it or not, just to give him an extra second to recover. Pitch is the off-speed pitch, and again, just rolled foul down the left field or third base line. So Maddie Engel not getting cheated out of any cuts. She's 0-2, but she's seen 5 pitches.
Yeah, it's been a long at-bat already with the time between pitches, but she's hanging tough in there with the 0-2 count.
She's fouled him down the left field or the third base side, the first base side, straight back.
The next one should be what, center field?
It should be a center field base hit. Here's a pitch. Pitch out of the zone, and she did kind of maybe offer out of a little bit, but
thought about it.
Yeah,
was able to hold up.
Of course, the home plate umpire does not have to ask for help. Sometimes the catcher will ask or the coach will ask, and it's up to him. Here's the pitch, and that's it. Well, I don't know what part of the plate that missed. But
I'm not sure. We were waiting for the umpire to give a signal, but it must have just been maybe a little low, maybe just off the plate.
Yeah, it's either off or up. I mean, it was that off-speed little drop thing that she does, and it's kind of a change-up that drops into the zone late. That one's just up.
Yeah, that one got away from her a little bit and left it a little too high. Now we've run the count full.
So this will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Of course, pitch counts aren't quite as important in softball as they are in baseball, but you are making the pitcher work.
Yeah, and he is 80-some degrees out here probably already. So
always a good thing when you can make the other team work. So Surik wins the battle, her second strikeout of the game, first of the swinging variety.
Yeah, after all the off-speed pitches, she comes back with heat and makes a great pitch. Maddie offers at it, which she has to. It's going to be a strike, and just couldn't quite make contact with it.
Yeah, as a hitter, I used to always say, well, that's not fair. You throw me a bunch of change-ups, and then there ought to be a rule.
Throws off my timing, don't you know that?
So 2 outs in the inning. Delaney Barton is the hitter. First pitch is in there for a strike on the outside corner.
See Mr. Cooper out there on the mound. Got a nice view of 2 baseball games and a softball game right now. Great place to be.
Yeah.
And sitting in the golf cart.
Well, I was going to say, I like the cart thing. That pitches low. And
the only thing he needs is the golf clubs on the back of it.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to change the subject a little bit, Jeff, so I'm minding my own business as I normally do. And I'm reading the Greenfield Daily Reporter, and I see a big article on some guy that looks horribly familiar. He's apparently retiring. Anything you can add to this? Or
that's what I hear, yes. Yeah, Jim, I love what I do. It's a great job. I've loved it. But my wife's also retiring from Greenfield Central Schools. I decided to join her. It's all good. Got a granddaughter we want to watch a little bit, travel a little bit, and that's hard to do when you're out here every day. So it's all good, and looking forward to it. But looking forward to the next 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe 5. Who knows how far we'll go? But it's all good. But yeah, the article, and they put my ugly mug on the front for some reason. I guess they didn't want to sell any papers yesterday.
Well, apparently not, but congratulations. It's well-deserved. Honestly, 36 years in a row, right, in a row.
Yeah, all at Southern Hancock.
Anywhere. I don't care if you're working at Chrysler or Ford. 36 years is long enough. Ball hit to third and fires
Good
across.
play.
Yeah, Char Lorenz was able to come up with that thing. Caught the back end of it there, fires across. So the third out, the Dragons with 2 runs on 2 hits, a big fly by Katie Hershey. And the score going into the fourth is Dragons 6, Munster 1.
After 3 complete, your score, Dragons 6.
Who knew that 9-Star Connect, a local smart utility, has the fastest internet in Indiana? 9-Star offers speeds up to 2 gig. That's upload and download speeds. Try getting that from any other provider. No data limits or caps on speed. The speed you pay for is the speed you get. 9-Star has state-of-the-art fiber optics with a dedicated line to each house. 9-Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. Who knew?
3, 2, 1.
Has the first dunk in the building from Orange. Joya waits. Waddell finishes. And lays it in. There is right now the play of the game. Better finish. We might see that on Plays of the Week. Great feed. The finish. Spin. Win. 3. Bury it in the lane. No. Gun. Yes. Stop. Whoa. What a play. Flying in.
And welcome back to New Palestine High School. Jim Leisure along with Jeff Wright. And we are getting ready to start the top of the 4th inning. New Palestine versus Munster. New Palestine with a 6-1 lead. And this time I think we actually do have a pitching change, unlike the one I was calling earlier in the game.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Dragons, number 14, Katie Kotlowski.
So Katie Kotlowski comes into the ball game. She's basically one of 2 pitchers that Coach Ed Markham uses on a regular basis. She will come in and try to hold this lead, and hopefully for the Dragons, they come out and get 5 more. They could end this thing early. And, you know, you mentioned it earlier, when it's 80 degrees outside and you got to play 2, if you can save a couple innings of pitching, you certainly want to. You look at Katie's numbers there, 5-3. First pitch outside for a ball.
Yeah, Katie, a little less speed maybe than Alexa, but more movement on the ball. So, totally different pitcher. So, if anybody can get in on the timing of Holman, then you bring in Katie or vice versa and try to throw the timing off a little bit. Having a nice year for the Dragons.
Well, speaking of movement and location, that pitch right there was just about perfect. If she can stay there, that's going to be awfully difficult for the Munster hitters to deal with. Ball had late movement. It started outside, breaks over the corner.
Yeah, that's kind of what she's known for. Lots of movement on the ball.
Yep.
Started a number of games as well. And when Alexa was out, of course, she was getting a lot of time in the circle.
Falls behind 3-1 there. Now, one of the things in this tournament in Indiana, the way it's set up, you can pitch the same kid pretty much a lot, but you're going to need a second pitcher. You're going to need somebody to come in and throw some innings. You might, if your starter's off, and you got to have somebody that can get people out, and that ball's a little 3-hopper to second base, and Elena Miller made that much more interesting than she needed to.
A great stretch by Delaney to make that catch.
So Cara Vitelli is out 4-3.
The pitcher, number 22, Emily Sturrick.
Now batting for Munster will be the pitcher, Emily Sturrick. Sturrick flew to center fielder Sydney Oliver in the second and is 0-for-1 on the day. So, again, we talked about how important it is to see a pitcher the second time through. Well, Coach Markham has decided you're not going to see my pitcher the second time through because we're going to change pitcher.
Exactly right. Katie comes with a fastball in the outside corner there to get a quick strike ahead of the hitter.
And like you said, when you have 2 kind of distinctly different styles, too, it just adds to the frustration for the hitters. The second pitch comes in there, swing and a miss.
Nice. Yeah, kind of fooled the opposing pitcher, Sturrick, there. Even got by our catcher all the way to the backstop, but an 0-2 hole. Katie will go back to the rosin bag for a moment, look around before she brings the next pitch.
So here's the 0-2, and as a pitcher, this is where you can have a little fun.
And she did.
Yeah, she's like, there you go, swing here, hit that.
Does your bat reach out that far or not?
You're going to need a tennis racket to get to this one. Two and two. Yeah, I've got 1-2 as well.
Okay, 1-2, and Rosenbaum's looking over at the dugout to get the sign from one of the coaches.
Seen a lot of games so far, Jeff, this year where teams are doing this wristband thing where the pitcher looks in, the catcher looks in as well. they get the sign, and then they have to check their wristband. And you want to talk about adding 15 minutes to the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Kind of like what we see with quarterbacks in football when they got all that signage on their wrist. Yeah, same thing. And some of the fielders wear them as well, so you see everybody at the same time look down at their wrist.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. Wow. Katie Kotlowski with her first strikeout of the game.
That was a beautiful sequence of pitches there by Katie, and then got her to chase one just off the plate for a strikeout.
Try to get you the totals on Alexa Holman here in a second, probably at one of the breaks. Before we do that, though, I would like to give a shout-out to Bill McKenna, one of our producers here at 9 Star Films. He apparently is retiring as well. You guys aren't going to run off to Arizona together, are you?
Don't believe so. Bill's become a friend of mine as we've done some work with 9 Star and do our monthly Dragon Dialogue. Great guy. Congratulated him as well on his upcoming retirement.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big loss for us. I mean, he's basically directed every single 9 Star sporting event since day one.
Very friendly guy, but at the same time very professional, dependable, loyal. Any good adjectives you can come up with, that describes Bill McKenna to a T.
Yeah, and again, I don't begrudge anyone their well-deserved retirement, but you hate to see all those years of experience go out the door. He's going to be a hard one to replace, as you will be, but apparently Trent Whitaker is waiting in the wings. Is that correct?
You would be correct on that. Wow. Another great pitch by Katie to get back-to-back strikeouts. This one the backwards K.
Yeah, so no runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base.
But, Mr. Whitaker, who's our varsity basketball coach, will continue to do that. And he'll slide into my seat in my office as assistant athletic director. I think it's a great transition. You know, he's been around. He helps us out with stuff anyway. So, again, have him in the building as we've had already. So that'll be a good transition for him. He's actually going back near his old office because where we are now in the new athletic office is the old guidance area.
Okay.
So they moved to a new office in the past year. So he's coming back to his old neighborhood, I guess you could say.
Yeah, so now is he going to be in the classroom at all, or is
Nope.
that a full-time position?
It is a full-time position. He knows I'm only a call away, only live a mile away. I can come over and I'll help him transition with anything he needs, but he'll do a great job. He won't need much of my help. He'll have Al Cooper to kind of mentor him in the coming year. And maybe for years after that, we'll see. But, we're looking forward to that and very glad, very happy that he's coming on board.
Well, he does such a fantastic job with the boys basketball program. And just basically final numbers on Alexa Holman. She basically pitched 3 innings, faced 10, 11, 12, 13 hitters, gave up 4 hits and 1 run. So close the book on her. And again, Katie Kotlowski is off to a great start. 2 strikeouts, 3 hitters. Leading off is the 9 spot, Sydney Oliver.
Nope.
Sydney gets hit with a pitch, and I was just getting ready to say how important it is to get some kind of production out of your 7, 8, and 9 as a coach. And Sydney takes one for the team there, as you see her stand there and take one just off the knee.
Yeah, that one just got away from Cirque a little bit. Probably looking for that inside corner and just moved a little more than she thought it would. So Sydney takes a spot at first base. Top of the order comes up.
First pitch in there on the outside corner for a strike. Now, again, this is the 3rd time through for Elena Miller and the rest of her teammates. So if you're Coach Ed Markham, you get the 9 spot on with nobody out. You're looking for a crooked number here. You want to see some production. As Miller squares to bunt, draws the infield in, pulls it back.
Shows bunt. She did a lot of that earlier on in her career as well. See if she can bring the infielders in a little bit.
She's just a little behind one there. Fouls it out of play left side.
Nice fastball by Surik on the outside corner. Got Laney to go after it and foul it off to go in a 1-2 hole. Again, as you said earlier, now just choke up, try to make a little contact.
Yep, just battle. You got to concede. I mean, you're the one that got yourself in this hole.
Mm-hmm.
Used to tell hitters all the time, look, all's not lost here. I mean, you still have a strike, and And like I said, I don't like, Coach, I don't like choking up. And, well, I don't like you get 2 strikes on you. So
exactly.
do it my way. Here's a pitch that's grounded to second base, a double play opportunity. Out at second, not even close at first.
Yeah, good play by the double play duo tandem there. With Elena running, you're not going to double her up. But very smooth transition there and a nice throw to first. Just a little late. That's just the way you practice it, Jim. Quick flip as the shortstop sliding her foot across the bag and makes a hard throw to first. It's just Elena Miller running. You're not going to double her up.
Yeah, not on a 60-foot base path. So fielder's choice for Miller.
Allie coming up with that double last time she was at the plate.
She's made outfield contact both times, flew out to the center fielder the first time in the aforementioned double. That one's hit down the third base line and called immediately foul by the home plate umpire.
Just inches away. Boy, the third baseman made a great play on it, even as a foul ball.
Yeah, Charlotte Lorenz there, the young lady going to Louisville. But, yeah, I think this is the right call. It's
Yep.
where the ball is when it's first touched. And you can see how it hit just outside the line, right beside the bag. Good call by the umpire. He called it quickly. He called it loudly. She pops one out of play.
I'm just happy we're getting these softballs back. If these were souvenirs,
Yeah.
we'd be out a lot of. How many boxes of softballs would we be down already?
How many balls do they normally start a varsity game with?
We do four. Yes,
Okay.
4.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, we'll hear, we're going to need some more softballs, so we'll bring out some more. But, yeah, we're going to need all those back today.
And then how long can you use game balls for multiple games?
Sure, as long as they're still good. Oh, nice play.
Yeah, ball driven to left field, and that is Addie Evilsizer in left field, who was perfectly played that time. We've talked a little bit about her positioning, whether it's too deep, too shallow. That time she was right on it, and you see the replay. That ball's just absolutely tattooed.
Yeah, driven hard, but right at her, played it just perfectly, and got it back into the infield quickly to keep the speedster at first.
And again, sometimes the game happens in such an order, Jeff, because I was just getting ready to say this would be a good time to put a runner in motion because, number one, even if she gets thrown out, then you come out and you start the next inning 3-4-5. No,
right.
Not a lot of harm there. But if you can get her into scoring position with 3-4-5, you certainly want to do that. And I was just getting ready to say that, and Elena Miller blew it for me and just took off running.
Took off too early.
Yeah. Always thinking of herself.
All right.
Never thinking of the poor old play-by-play guy.
Now we got Reese Rosenbaum making her first appearance at the plate today with a runner in scoring position.
That's right. She replaced Aglaya Rudd behind the plate. I'm assuming everything's okay with Aglaya, just an opportunity.
I think so. Just get her some rest with another game coming. So you got a backup catcher in while she's hitting .316. .6-1 lead. Another run at second. Dragons, we thought you get the lead up to 5-6-7. You're thinking, how soon can we close that out?
Yep. Ball's hit the third baseman. Charlotte Lorenz fires across the diamond for the out, and that is the third out. So the Dragons have no runs on no hits and one left on.
Bottom of the fourth, the Dragons, they score no runs on no hits and leave a runner on
We
base.
step out here. It is New Palestine 6, the Munster Mustangs 1, and we are approaching the top of the fifth inning.
At 9-Star Connect, our history spans back to the late 1800s, where family time, building livelihoods and neighborhoods, sharing stories of the day, and looking forward to chasing new dreams were important to all of us. Today, 9-Star still values these things. That's why we have a local 24/7, 365 support center. We are still here for you, as it's been for the past 125 years. At 9-Star Connect, we're a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
My name is Patty Potty, and I'd like to talk to you about all those kinds of convenience products. People are flushing down the toilet, clogging up our sewer system, and causing expensive repair bills. They might flush down, but they sure don't flush out. Make sure you trash them. Don't flush them, only flush the 3 P's. Pee, poo, and paper. Toilet paper, that is. And remember, no wipes in those pipes.
This important message was brought to you by 9 Connect, your water and sewer provider.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 160,000 participants here in Indiana who take part in high school sports.
Welcome back to New Palestine High School. Jim Leisure along with Jeff Wright bringing you the action. Score as we go in the top of the fifth is New Palestine 6 and Munster 1. Lead off the inning for the Mustangs is Evie Allerding. She is a designated player, bats .296 coming into the ball game.
Off to a good start. 1 for 1 today with a single and scored a run.
Yeah, she's got the only run for the Mustangs, so that .296 is probably .301. This pitch comes in low, gets away from the catcher.
Katie will have to come back here. Down 2-0 to Allerding.
Well, you know, the psychology of coaching, you know, the same way you tell a hitter that the at-bat's not over when you get down 0-2. Well, you tell a pitcher it's not over when you get down, 2-0 or 3-0. There's still time. You can battle.
And battle she does with a beautiful pitch on the outside corner. That ball had some pop in Rosenbaum's glove there.
So the 2-1, it's in there for a strike. Swing. That was going to be called strike 2 if she didn't take a cut at it.
Yep, getting some movement on the ball there. Nice comeback by Katie from 2-0 to 2-2.
Oh, foul ball. Ball basically banged into the plate, bounced up and hit her while she was still in the box, so foul ball. Jeff, you had made the comment, and I don't know if John or Billy, the one, can get a shot of the really nice Mercedes RV thing out there behind the school bus. They were here, you said at 9 o'clock, some Munster fans came down there. She reaches out and kind of lines softly.
Yeah, I come out of my golf cart at 9 thinking I'm early. And there's an RV out here waiting on me and some Munster folks just out walking around and made the nice, probably close to a 3-hour trip down. Going to make a nice day out of it. They'll head to Carmel next to play them this afternoon before they head home. So fun weekend for them, and that, that's part of it. Get some fans out, some parents probably. A lot of parents come down to see a park they haven't seen before, maybe a town they haven't seen before.
Well, again, and depending on the traffic, I mean, you're right. It can be anywhere from 2.5 hours to 3 hours. It just depends. You got to go through that maze of windmills there just north of Lafayette. Mm-hmm.
Those are mesmerizing.
They are.
I stare at those as I'm driving, and I shouldn't be.
Well, and to me, I'm not a city planner or anything or having to do with highways, but could you put those like off the field? There it is. That's nice for my house.
That's pretty nice. Yeah, it's a nice vehicle to travel in.
Yeah.
Life of luxury.
Good spot location there by Katie Kotlowski. Run the count to 1 and 2 to the 9 hitter, CeCe Mason. She's looking punch out here. She may waste one, but she really wants to strike out. Here's the pitch, and the umpire said
she got it.
She did, yeah. So
really fooled Mason on that pitch, and she just made a half swing at it, but enough to count for strike 3. So Katie with the strikeout there.
So that is the 5th batter faced by Kotlowski. That's her 3rd strikeout. The other 2 hitters really didn't make good contact. You had a soft liner to third base by Evie Allerding and a 4-3 by Kara Vitelli. So Kotlowski seems to have it dialed in, so to speak, and I hope I'm not giving her the old broadcaster's jinx.
Well, I was wondering about that myself, Jim, but she just roared through the bottom of that lineup from 5 to 9, so now.
Happens all the time, Jeff. This guy's a 98% free throw shooter, hasn't missed a free throw in 3 weeks.
Always seems to have one of my favorite teams, too.
And then he misses both.
On the biggest game of the year, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for bringing up some fond memories there.
Well, see, you got to say something. To me, the worst thing is just dead air. Nice pitch, just missed.
Yep. Home plate umpire thought about it, but realized it was just off the plate.
Yeah, and again, another, in my opinion, well umpired game. They're, the home plate umpire may have missed one or two, but parents are like, well, he missed 3 pitches, and it's like, well, I notice your kid swings and misses a lot too.
Exactly, and if you're not noticing the umpires, that means they're doing a great job as well.
Yeah. It is a very, very difficult job, especially behind the plate. Every now and then you'll see, certainly like at sectionals, you'll see 3 umpires, 1 at third base, but it's normally a 2-man crew.
And we've had with the umpire shortage this spring, we've had a number of baseball games with just 1 umpire.
And
they got to call home.
Yep.
They got to call the bases. They got to call plays in the outfit. It is very, very difficult.
It would be hard to do on a 60-foot softball diamond by yourself, but gosh, 90-foot base paths on baseball by yourself would be very difficult. I think both coaches and hopefully the fans just have to be a little patient. Pitches. Hit softly to the second baseman and fired across. To the shortstop, fired across in time. So another 1-2-3 inning for New Palestine and Katie Kotlowski.
Mustangs are retired in order in the top of the fifth.
Katie's gone 6 up, 6 down, as you said, 3 strikeouts. So she's come into the game ready to go from the start.
Well, and that's good to see. I mean, again, you got to have you always got to have that second pitcher ready. You may not use them necessarily in the tournament. If you're going to go any length, though, you probably will. So.
Yeah, and you can never count on who's going to be hurt, and
right.
In that 8-week season, you're playing a lot of games, so you don't want to wear out a pitcher. So they've got a nice tandem here with Alexa Holman and Katie Kotlowski. They also have Courtney Studi, a sophomore that's pitched some as well and done a nice job in her first season on varsity. So I think Ed's pretty happy with the pitching he's got, and you've got a very strong defense behind it.
Sure. Well, Jeff, I'm going to direct your attention back to your 36 years here at Southern Hancock, and I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot.
Oh, boy.
Just your most fond memories. You don't have to pick one, maybe just 2 or 3 highlights, whether, maybe it could have been when you ascended to the office of the athletic director, got out of the classroom, that kind of stuff, but just talk a little bit about some of the highlights.
You mean besides doing this today with you?
Well,
of course.
Well,
no, that goes without saying.
Yeah, you'll probably just walk off right after this.
Go out on top.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I've been asked that a few times since people have found out. And, I talk about, all the championships we've won, whether it's a sectional level to the state level, just teams reaching their goals. But, overall, my favorite part of this job is what we're doing right now, is the evenings and the afternoons where we're watching our student athletes do something they love to do.
Yeah.
Represent Dragons in a New Palestine uniform. They're having a blast. They're having fun. And they're playing games they love to play.
A little excuse me swing there by Paige Ernst as she goes out 1-3. But, yeah, you're exactly right. It's like you can't even really believe that they pay us to watch kids play. And now, granted, your job as an athletic director was much more difficult than mine ever was as a coach, although I was an athletic director for a year at a very small school.
Mm-hmm.
And I always knew you guys worked hard. I didn't really have any idea just how hard until I did it. So.
Well,
ground ball to Lorenz at third, fires across, barely in time.
Good play. It is a lot of hours, but I've loved it. I've done it for 6 years. And when I started, Al said, you're going to work more hours than you've ever worked. But he goes, it's really not a lot of work. It's more of a hobby. It's a lot of fun, and it's been very true. A lot of hours, but a lot of enjoyable hours. Great relationships. I spoke of that the other day as well to somebody about, that's what I'll miss, those day-to-day relationships with coaches, with working with Al every day, and just a lot of close friends in the building. But, no, it's been an absolute blast. I've never wanted to be – I'm a Greenfield native, so I didn't go far. But once I got the job in New Pal, I never wanted to be anywhere else. Never sought it out. This quickly became my home. I love the community, and we'll stay here.
Second pitch in there, 0-2, quick hole for Grace Paquette. Well, and you've already mentioned it. You're just going to be kind of a mile down the road to assist Trent and now and whomever else. But, again, to me that's a big deal because, you don't have to sever those relationships. You can still, go out to dinner with these folks, these friends of yours. She drives one to right field, takes the right fielder back. Plenty of room, though, for Emily Liza, and that ends the inning. 1-2-3 for the Dragons. So at the end of 5, it's still New Palestine 6, Munster 1.
After 5 complete, your score, Dragons.
We are really heavily involved in the community, so there are multiple different volunteer opportunities that we can go and do.
Volunteer time to share their time and talents with organizations that need not only monetary assistance, but just people's time to help those organizations grow and thrive.
9-Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
9-Star is very focused on customer and member care, focused on making sure that however we communicate with the member and customer is how they want to communicate.
You know, sometimes we're the one person that they speak to in a day, and you want that conversation to be happy and pleasant.
As a nonprofit co-op, we're focused on providing the best service we can for our members.
9-Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
And we are back at New Palestine High School. Jim Leisure along with Jeff Wright, bringing you all the exciting New Palestine softball action here on this Saturday afternoon now, right? 12:19. Game started at 11 o'clock.
Although it's still morning for the Munster people.
Good point. That was a little bit of an issue, was it not?
It was. Yeah, we had scheduled a 10 a.m. start, and they're like, okay, 10 a.m., but they're on Central Time, which is 11 our time, so it made sense to move it back, with the long drive some people are going to have this morning. I'm sure some people maybe stayed all night in Central Indiana, but we're in no hurry, and then Carmel and Crown Point also starting at 11.
Base hit into right field just past the first baseman. Delaney Barton unable to come up with that. It was Kylie Madura, and she gets her first hit. She did reach on a sacrifice in the third inning, but first time actually recording a hit.
Jumped on the first pitch, so maybe the coaches talked to him. Let's be a little more aggressive against Miss Kotlowski out there, as she's really working the ball well. So maybe they decided to jump on a first one when they can get one they like.
I would think that's exactly right. I mean, when you go basically 0 for 6 and you say, ladies, you know what, we gotta change our channel a little bit here. We got to get runners on base. We got to attack the pitch. We can't just step back and let her dominate us. Kotlowski comes with a little pitch with some movement on it, broke away from the plate, threw it right at the outside corner, but then it broke into the left-hander batter's box for ball 2.
Yeah, it looked like maybe it slipped off her hand just a tiny bit. That's all it takes. Tiny bit's going to be quite a bit once it gets to the plate.
Absolutely. So Char Lorenz, the batter for Munster, and the pitch is up, ball 3.
Have to battle back here for Katie, try to get a strike here and get it more closer to her favor.
Yeah, I'd like to see maybe some weak contact. Don't be afraid to pitch to contact. You got 8 people out there with gloves on their hands. Lorenz fakes the bunt and pulls back and pitches just outside for ball 4.
Well, this is exactly what Munster wanted. Get the first 2 on to bring up your cleanup hitter in Liza.
Yeah, without question. I mean, if you want to get runners on, now you got, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah, heart of the order, down 5, try to cut into that.
First walk of the ball game, I think, for any of the pitchers. First pitch is in there for a ball. Nice job just dropping that one in there off speed.
There we go. Took something off of it. Got a strike. Now she's going to feel better about this at bat.
Well, sometimes that's what you got to do. You just got to step off, take a deep breath, refocus, think about your grip. Foul tip into the glove. Of course, a foul tip that goes straight into the catcher's glove remains live and is a strike. So runners could have advanced. If they had, I would assume Reese Rosenbaum would have thrown them out.
Good movement on that ball. And tough place to hit it. It's all right.
Again, I wouldn't call that a waste pitch. I mean, it was close enough to the zone. She was just trying to make the hitter hit a bad pitch.
Yeah, make her chase one. As he said, get weak contact or strikeout. Man, that's exactly what she ends up getting.
So she gets her 4th strikeout. First out of the inning. That was Emily Liza. She is now 0 for 3 on the day. care of Vitale. The catcher comes up to the plate. She is 0 for 2, grounded out to shortstop and second base.
We're going to assume she's no relation to the Dick Vitale. Probably a stretch there, but you never know.
Yeah, Dick does have some.
Spelled the same.
Yeah, he has some Indiana ties. I think all his kids went to Notre Dame.
Coached up in Detroit, just north of the state line a little bit.
Yep, University of Detroit, then Detroit Pistons.
All right. Beautiful pitch on the outside corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Just execution and location. The catcher sets up there. Kotlowski's able to hit the glove exactly, no movement. A lot of times umpires will give you that call.
Just kind of froze Vitale.
Ground ball to shortstop, could be 2. They're going to fire across for 1. When in doubt, get an out, and Allie Blum decided to go the long way and get one.
Yeah, she chose the safe play there. Elena was coming over to cover second, but she knew she would get the sure out at first. It was going to be a pretty close play at second, so good decision by Allie. Get the second out. Runners are both scoring position, but you do have 2 out.
I just wonder again if she could have maybe stepped on the bag and tried to fire across to first, and you got to do it quickly.
Yeah, it was a quick decision she had to make.
Yep.
Big at bat for Munster here.
Just really, really nice pitch. You know, as a coach, you love to see that stuff. You know, as a broadcaster, you try to remain, you know, non-partial, but that was, man, that was really nice.
As we say, Katie can mix up the speeds, locations.
And that was a foul ball as it got away from the catcher. Again, had she squeezed that, then it would have remained live and runners could have advanced. A lot of people aren't always sure the difference between a foul tip and a foul ball. A foul ball is a dead ball. Foul tip is one that goes off the bat right to the glove and remains live.
Right, not a bad pitch there by Katie. Outside, see if she could get Surik to chase that one. Runs the count to 2-2.
Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Big pitch for both teams here. Ground ball to third base. Fielded cleanly. Fires across in time for the 3rd out. So let me mark the 5-3 here, and then we'll add it up. Let's see. It looks like 1 hit, 2 left on. No runs.
And I believe that was Alyssa Mumaw coming in at third there. Made a nice play.
Okay.
And a key moment of the game to keep the Mustangs down 5 runs. So nice job coming in, ready to play right off the bat.
Yeah, I did see Coach Markham talk to the umpire about you could see he was making some changes here, but I did not see exactly where, and I did not bring my binoculars. I know people go, seriously, binoculars? Well, you're trying to read the center fielder's, jersey number, from here. It helps to have some assistance. So
not quite as close as a basketball game or a wrestling meet, or a little tougher to see out there. The small numbers on the front of the jerseys for both teams.
Yeah. So Dragon pitching relatively effective here today. They've only got out 4 hits, and they've had 4 strikeouts for Munster hitters, and all 4 of them credited to Katie Kotlowski, who entered in the 4th. So again, Coach Markham making some changes, so we're going to have to see, honestly, just as kids walk to the plate, we'll see who it is batting. And
it looks like we're going to start off with Kayla Bain.
Okay.
Kayla has had a particular role this year as a very good pinch hitter for the Dragons. Is it a couple of home runs in that spot, some key doubles. So she's going to get a shot here to lead off the Dragons.
She will be batting for Maddie Engel. Engel was 0 for 2 with a strikeout.
Your attention, please. Pitch hitting and leading off with the Dragons.
Katie is a junior, and she bats 176, so an opportunity for her to come in a nice situation. It's a pretty good Munster team, Jeff, as you well know, and 12-4 on the season. They play in the Northwest Crossroads Conference along with Andrean, Highland, Hobart, Kankakee Valley, Lowell, and themselves. These Those are all Lake County schools with the exception of Kankakee Valley, which is in Jasper County. She hits one kind of short left where the shortstop's going to go over and make a relatively easy play.
Yeah, that's a good conference they're in. They just beat Lowell the other day to move into first place with a 9-1 record. A little bit of breathing space over Lowell there, so, maybe conference championship for them before they head into the sectional play. So first goal, right there in reach for them.
Well, and you said it earlier when you were talking about all the championships that you've been fortunate to be a part of are important, whether it's sectional, conference, and then, the state championships are nice as well. But winning's hard. Winning is hard, and people think it's easy, and, we're the best team, and all we got to do is, going out and doing it is a totally different thing. So a conference championship is a big deal. This one popped to center field. Relative can of corn there for Paige Vukadinovich.
Yeah, it is difficult, and anymore it's 12 months of the year, with the off-season stuff, and then you finally get into the preseason and the season. But,
sure.
The other teams have good athletes too.
Right, and they're
You're
working
not the
hard.
only one, and they're working hard, and they've got great coaching, and,
Yep.
And with so much scouting going on, they know what you're doing. You know what they're doing. It is difficult. It's difficult to especially win consistently year after year.
Yeah, again, and you mentioned it too with obviously things like the social media and the internet, the ability to see a kid play from anywhere in the state. In the old days, you had to get in your car and drive around.
Yeah,
not the case anymore. So another pinch hitter here. This is Sydney Hughbanks. Sydney takes first pitch high for a ball. I like this from Coach Markham. I really do. Some coaches, with just a 5-run lead, might be a little more nervous and say, why don't we just, but he's trying to get enough kids. And again, this is about building a program.
Correct, and it shows confidence in your pitching staff as well, and your defensive team. You got 3 outs to go, and he's done this for the past few innings, getting some different players in. So yeah, build confidence for them, get them some varsity experience, and it's going to pay off down the road.
I started to talk about earlier, Coach Markham was an assistant on the first softball state championship. The head coach was Pete. What was Pete's last name? Do you remember? Cook?
Pete Cook, I believe, is correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. How about that? You know what? If you asked me who's president of the United States, I'd be like, I don't know, Nixon. But I knew Pete Cook for some reason.
Pete Cook was a good man, did a nice job with the Dragons. Did pass away a few years ago.
I did not know that.
He did, yeah, but it did a great job getting this program growing, and he followed along closely to the success they had.
Hughbanks pops up to the left fielder, and that is Addie Evil-Sizer, and that is the inning. The Dragons go 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the 6th. We will step out, and when we return, the Dragons will try to wrap this thing up in the top of the 7th inning. Score, New Palestine.
When moving
6
into a
Munster.
new home, we ask ourselves questions like, who is the best internet provider in town? Well, have you considered locally owned 9-Star Connect? We've become the fastest, most reliable, and dedicated fiber-to-the-home internet company in central Indiana. Our internet packages have been modified, and we are changing speeds at a more competitive price. So give us a look. Visit us at 9starconnect.com. 9-Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Who knew that 9-Star Connect, a local smart utility, has the fastest internet in Indiana? 9-Star offers speeds up to 2 gig. That's upload and download speeds. Try getting that from any other provider. No data limits or caps on speed. The speed you pay for is the speed you get. 9-Star has state-of-the-art fiber optics with a dedicated line to each house. 9-Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. Who knew?
Leading off the Mustangs, first baseman number 40, Brooke Vivian.
Welcome back to New Palestine High School Gym Leisure with Jeff Wright, and it is the top of the 7th inning, and the Munster Mustangs are down to their final 3 outs. Katie Kotlowski still on the mound for the Dragons. The hitter is Brooke Vivian. Brooke is 0 for 2 with a strikeout in the 4th inning, and that strikeout was courtesy of the young lady that's currently on the mound in Katie Kotlowski. Katie tried to fool her there with a pitch, and she almost got her. So we were talking before the break here, Jeff, about Pete Cook and Ed Markham, and I know Ed was an assistant. I thought they won the state championship. You're saying perhaps it was a runner-up. The point is this. Give Pete Cook a lot of credit for building a great program, but then give Ed Markham a ton of credit for taking it to the next level, because sometimes when you have a coaching change, it doesn't go the way this has.
You're right, as we get a ground out, Blum to Barton for the first out. Yeah, Pete did a great job, took it to a new level we hadn't seen before at New Palestine. We know he reached a championship game. Ed was his assistant for a few years, and then when Pete stepped aside, the job went to Ed, and we see what he's done with it as we look at the banners out on the hanging on the fence. But he took it to a brand new level, and now it's New Palestine, Center Grove. I think you're talking probably the top two softball programs in the state year after year with the most championships.
Yeah, without question. And again, it's one thing to build it, and in building it's really, really hard. But it's also hard to maintain it.
Right, and you hear that often. Yeah, it's one thing to get to a level, but it's even tougher to stay at that level, and we have. And, year after year we're ranked 1, 2, 3, top 5 in 4A. We've got lots of banners, multiple sectional, regional, semi-state championships. So, yeah, year after year, this is a program that gets statewide acclaim, as it should, as one of the top ones in our state.
And I'm sure that Ed Markham would tell you, because I know that I was always a better coach when I had better players. You give me really good players, and I'll coach the heck out of them. And you have better players when you have better people. Good kids make good decisions. Do good things. As Mason is hit by that pitch,
correct,
and reaches first, but. So Ed will be the first one to tell you they've had good players,
and okay. we've had a very strong feeder system. Before, a lot of feeder systems were in place in different towns around central Indiana. We had a strong one from the start. Great travel ball teams, our league, rec teams here in town. It's just been very consistent. Those players come up and they're ready to play, and he takes them even further than that.
And I misspoke. That was Evie Allerding, who got hit by that pitch, is currently standing on first base. The shortstop, CeCe Mason, is batting now in the 9 spot. She squared around to try to bunt and fouled it off, so she's down 0-1.
Ed's made this a family affair. His 2 daughters are assistant coaches, been there with him a long time. So Audrey East, the JV coach, does an outstanding job as well preparing her players. The JV coach, you got to – one of your top jobs is to get players ready to play at the varsity level, and she's done an outstanding job of that. Also a teacher here at our school, very good teacher as well, just a great overall person. So, yeah, excellent coaching staff, not just Ed, but all the assistants as well.
Without question, and again, one of the things that I know sometimes parents aren't real thrilled about, but, at the JV and freshman level, winning games is nice and it's important, but it's more about player development. It's about getting kids in games and finding out who can play. Years ago, I was the 8th grade baseball coach for Al Cooper when he was the varsity coach, and I used to make my lineups out, and I had changes already made the night before because when Al Cooper asked me, hey, can this kid play, I needed to have an answer better than, well, I think so. I've never really put him in a situation where, so sometimes, again, parents will be like, why would you substitute now? It's the 4th inning. Well, because the card in my hat said I was going to do this, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah, we got to prepare players to play at this level.
So Kotlowski battles back and gets another strikeout. That is her 5th of the ball game.
Well, she's just pitched well. Sorry, Jim. Coming in when she did, middle of the game, just really focused and ball's moving. She's locating it well, racking up the strikeouts, pitching a great game.
Brings up the top of the order page, Vukadenovich. And, I'm sure that if you ask Katie, she would tell you that she didn't have a great outing Thursday night against Pendleton, and it's nice to see her bounce back and recover and basically be the type of pitcher that she's capable of being.
Yep, and if they can get a third out, they get a little rest before they get ready for the second game versus Crown Point later today.
That pitch line down the left field line, but foul, so Vukadenovich is in an 0-2 hole with 2 outs. This could be the last pitch, and first baseman Delaney Barton comes in to tell Kotlowski, do you know the rules? Do you know that if you strike her out? She's like, yeah, I know the rules. Get out of here.
Let me do my job here.
Yeah, get out. Get out of here.
I'm doing it well. I don't need you. your advice right now.
Reminds me of a story, old Cubs story. Mark Grace tells the story that Cubs are in Cincinnati. Rick Sutcliffe's on the mound, and in Cincinnati, when the home team hits a home run, they shoot off fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sutcliffe had given up back-to-back home runs, so back-to-back fireworks. Pitch is lined in the left field for a base hit, so the inning and the game will extend. That is the second base hit for Vukadinovic, and she had a double in the third, and now a single in the seventh. I show that as basically 1, 2, 3, the fifth hit of the ball game for Munster. But anyway, pitching coach Billy Connors comes out to talk to Sutcliffe, who's obviously upset with himself, and Sutcliffe's like, "Get out of here, get off the mound. I don't need to talk to you. I know what I did wrong." He's very upset. And Billy Connors says, "Calm down, Rick. I'm just letting the fireworks guy reload." As this ball is hit to the shortstop, and that ends the ball game. That was Kyla Madura going up.
I'm looking up in the skies for fireworks as we speak, Jim, but I don't see any.
So line to 6, and so that's it. The Palestine Dragons win 6-1. Katie Kotlowski does a nice job, pitches 4 innings, gets 5 strikeouts, gives up 2 hits. Alexa Holman started the ballgame, went 3 innings, gave up 4 hits and 1 run for New Palestine. Allie Bloom had a double. Paige Ernest had 2 base hits, and Katie Hershey had a home run. Delaney Barton had another double. So a really good start to the day. As we said earlier, Crown Point comes in whenever they get here. So, folks, thank you for watching. Jeff, thank you, and good luck to you.
Been a pleasure. I appreciate it, Jim. Thank you very much.
All right.
For the morning's first game. For the visiting Mustangs, they score 1 run on